YouTube was good. It's your boy, Paulus Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Hey, if this is your first time tuning in, go ahead, hit the doggone subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I post up new content. I don't have to tell you people, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. And for the most part, a good friend of mine actually really said, "Well, what the hell is up with Lil Nas? Lil Nas X, or whatever the fuck he called himself, right?" So I actually really went on YouTube and I saw the video. He then went and got one of them prosthetic pregnancy stomachs or whatever. Took a picture all over all over the internet, right? But see, I look at this and then there's so many avenues of approach that is ridiculous. And the only reason why I said it is because depending on the individual, right? You post something on Instagram or YouTube, whatever, you get paid X amount of dollars for so many views that actually really come behind this. So this could be just for the simple fact of this guy actually really making money. A marketing ploy is which for the most part, this would a lot of people do. So my internet is not hooked up. Okay, sorry about that. Little difficulties or whatever. But here's the deal. We, you know, you do it, you get X amount of dollars, right? But then I was on Facebook earlier today, and I saw this one guy posted. How many of y'all actually remember the show, that one Cosby show, where everybody was pregnant? Cliff was pregnant. The two son-in-laws was pregnant. Theo was pregnant. Right? So basically what the guy said is that, okay, hey, guess what? Nothing was said. Right? Because we knew that it was comedy. Okay, so, but my thing is, right? Okay, yeah, we knew that that was comedy. So what the fuck did, so what's Lil Nas' excuse? Right? But then again, and what I'm about to say is probably going to piss off a lot of people. But Beyonce, she did the exact same shit. Walking around with that fake belly, thinking that she's pregnant or whatever. Again, go back, look at the footage. If you can find it, that's if they ain't took it down. This is what the motherfuckers in the industry do. This is what they do. But the thing with the one problem that I have with that post about Bill Cosby, see the thing about everybody already knew what type of person Bill Cosby was or still is. Right? So for the most part, that's kind of, if I really want to stop and think about it for a minute, that's really not, it's it's not a real good example if you actually really stop and think about it. And then for the most part, and then I commented, I just said, well, okay, well, this is like, okay, a result of the pussy ass parents that we have today. Because a lot of these parents, right? A lot of them, right, were born anywhere between 1985 and 90, right? So for the most part, and then I've said this in plenty of shows, right? Right? From 1983 going backwards, right? 9 times out of 10, you was actually really going to turn out pretty good. 1983 going forward, yeah, we probably gonna look at you a little funny, considering who your parents are or who your parents were, right? Especially with all of the laws that had been put in place since 1983, right? You can't beat your kids' ass no more, right? The alphabet soup people, they just running around being crazy like it's nobody's motherfucking business, right? And then if you actually really want to go back further than that, just know that back in 1973, they actually really the so-called doctors, they actually really took homosexuality off of the books as far as classifying it as a mental disorder. So again, it's like, okay, you give a motherfucker the green light to do shit, right? So the thing about it though, you look at, okay, let's look at what the fuck Bruce Jenner did. That motherfucker, he actually really just totally and completely flipped script. And then you gotta look at this, and then you gotta look at this, some of these other motherfuckers that have actually really totally and completely flipped script. So that way that they can actually really, where they feel like that they can actually really compete and dominate the sport that they try to compete and dominate in. Now, I can sit up here and be like, okay, well, is Lil Nas a victim of society? Do I say do I dare say that he's a victim of society? Or do I dare say that this motherfucker is actually really pushing the issue? Because here's the deal. Anytime when you give Satan a lap dance, right? Again, anytime when you give Satan a lap dance, and if you actually really know the ins and outs of how or who and what Satan is, then you can understand why Lil Nas X, why he put on that fake belly. Because Satan himself, Satan, Lucifer, whatever the fuck it is that you actually really want to call it, just look at the moon. The moon is a great representation of what Lucifer is, because the moon does not have its own light. No light, no life. Matter of fact, the moon gets its light from the sun. The S-U-N and the S-O-N. That what is righteousness, that what is good. Right? So when you put on a display where that you as the individual want to say that, hey, guess what? I'm the shit. Knowing damn well that where you get your light is from that at one point you was under. You didn't like it, so you feel like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna holler at you later. And And then you come down and then you want to deceive everybody. Right? So you have a lap dance with Satan. But then again, I look at that video. And then even then, the whole interpretation of Satan, Lucifer, that shit is all wrong. Right? Because he will never actually really come at you in his true physical form. Or let's just say that Lucifer would never come at you as something that can be easily identified. So for the most part, once you now that I really stop and think about it for a minute, all what this motherfucker doing, he ain't nothing more than a goddamn attention getter. He do shit because he already know motherfucker gonna raise hell. Him and his little production crew, advertising crew, like, hey, guess what? What can we do next? Let's go piss everybody off. Right? So he come out there with the fake pregnant belly. Because he already knew that would get attention. This motherfucker actually really know what he's doing. You know, it's business in a sense. Right? That's now that's one way of looking at it. But let's go back to the whole Bill Cosby thing for a minute. Because I forget about the whole plot on how they got pregnant in the first place. But I really want to say that there was something in the water. Something in the water. Which for the most part, if you actually really go back and look at history, and they've been doing it, they doing it now, right? They putting certain shit in foods, what the fuck we drink, motherfucking vaccinations, you name it. They didn't put some shit in there, right? That for the most part, later on down the line, right? Like with this whole COVID-19 shit, you can motherfucking take all type of motherfucking so-called vaccines, right? And think that you good, but then here come this new shit, and then you do that, and then they're like, oh, you positive. But knowing damn well that's a false positive. But the thing, but it's like what I've always said, right? If you have to really stop and look at the doggone symptoms of the so-called coronavirus, okay, you got a runny nose, you're coughing, right? You're vomiting or whatever. But the thing, whatever it is, then the motherfucker goes, oh, I got coronavirus. 9 times out of 10, your ass probably just got a motherfucking. You probably just got the motherfucking common cold. Because the thing about it is this, people, when you got a cold, you can't smell shit, you can't taste shit, which means that you ain't finna eat shit. And then depending on how weak your immune system is, 9 times out of 10, your ass is gonna die. So again, it is, I know I kind of got off subject a little bit, but the thing about it though, going back to this whole Lil Nas motherfucker, right? Marketing ploy, Bill Cosby, comedy. But then again, you actually really got to stop and think about it. Like, my man, he wants to sit and say, oh, it was comedy. Really? Do you really think that it was comedy? When, for the most part, it could have been an initial setup of what the fuck it was to come down. Because, see, that was back in the 80s. Late 80s going into the 90s. So again, yeah, we can sit up here and holler about this comedy. And then as far as like what my man goes, right? Okay. So if it's comedy, then when men put on dresses, I guess that's comedy too, right? Because the thing about it though is this, because you sit up there and you holler about how impressionable these kids are. Motherfucker, you was impressionable at one point. Hell, we all were. And depending on the state of mind that you in now, guess what? We still are. We still are. So don't actually really, don't. I mean, you can for the most part miss me with that bullshit what you're talking. So I mean, but again, motherfucker gonna be like, hey, it is what it is because the whole thing, a lot of this shit has been going on ever since motherfucking day one. Or let's just say day 25. Depending on how the motherfucker, depending on how you actually want to look at this. So, as far as like Lil Nas is concerned, yeah, okay, you got your fake belly. Yeah, you got motherfuckers talking about you. So you went out and did what the fuck you were supposed to do. So now the question, now the question remains. Okay, well, how much money did you get off of doing that? How many thousands of dollars did you get for doing that? For putting off that doggone publicity stuff. That's what it is. I mean, now, unless you actually really have feelings like that for real, then okay, then that's a whole nother subject matter, totally and completely. But honestly, I actually really stopped when you actually really stop thinking. But this is nothing more than a motherfucking. You can look at it as a publicity stunt, or you can actually really look at that. You can actually really look at the simple fact that hey, this is nothing more than another prime example of actually like really pushing the bullshit agenda, the motherfucking homosexual agenda. You alphabet soup motherfuckers, right? Just like what I always said. If it was up to me, if it was up to, and but again, I don't understand. I don't understand y'all, and I'm pretty sure you don't understand your motherfucking self because for you, so-called gay and lesbian motherfuckers, right? Somebody, because listen, somebody's already playing their motherfucking part as the man. Yeah, you fucked up thinking that another man is a woman, right? If tight pussy is your thing, then guess what? Just know that you go out and get you a nice looking woman or whatever, and have her do pussy exercises. Make sure that she keep that motherfucker tight, right? I mean, especially if you old big dick motherfucker, then yeah, and see, here's another thing too, right? For all of you motherfuckers, you big dick motherfuckers, right? How about you actually go out and get a woman, right? That's the same height as you. Leave the little short motherfuckers alone, right? Not to say that everybody is tall or faggots. I'm not saying that, but but at the same time, I'm just looking at it like this, right? If you put like this, you know what the fuck you got is between your legs, and you already know don't and can't no 5 foot nothing female handle what the fuck you got. Go out and get somebody that's actually really gonna rival what the fuck you have, right? So, so again, the whole deal is, like I say, somebody got to play the man, somebody got to play the woman, and whether it's man on man or woman on woman, put like this: a strap on, if it's woman on woman, a strap on is going to be involved. So dick is involved. So what the fuck is your problem? What the fuck is y'all's problem? Right? Y'all so motherfucking confused that it's ridiculous. Y'all love dick. You might not like the motherfucker that is attached to. So then you go out and go get a dildo. Or your vibrator. Or whatever. Whatever the case may be. Whatever actually really happened to teaching the motherfucker. Something. Hey baby, guess what? Try to hold off as long as you can. Right? Or go get that motherfucker some Viagra. Right? Or it could be that for the simple fact that you just not the right motherfucker. Plain and simple. Maybe your pussy stank. Or maybe it don't feel right. Whatever the case may be. I don't know. Right? Like I said, the last one I was with. Hey, guess what? I was in and out of there real quick. But now I hate to put the shit out there, but hey, look, it is what it is. Now I can actually really knock this shit out the park with no motherfucking problem. But the shit, y'all get where I'm going with this, right? I'm not gonna sit up there and spend the rest of your life trying to find some shit that fit, or find some shit that you feel like, okay, well, you know what, I can last long in this. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is this: go out and actually really find you somebody that, for the most part, that you dominate, where domination, for the most part, is really not an issue, or it really won't be an issue, where she can actually really rival your motherfucking ass. Be like, oh, motherfucker, that's all what the fuck you got? What the fuck? You talking all that shit earlier. So, again, I know I'm getting off subject, but the thing about with Lil Nas is this. Marketing ploy as always, right? But then, like I say, when you go back and you look at his video, he did a lap dance with a bullshit Satan. Now he got a bullshit belly, right? Or here's another way of looking at this, right? He's probably, again, the latest and greatest of birthing. He put like this. Let's just say he's the new bitch. And he's birthing the next motherfucking agenda of what the hell is going to happen next. Birthing the new agenda. That's how you look at it, like that, right? Because Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner or whatever the fuck you want to call this stuff, right? You gotta let's look at how long ago that was. That baby old. So now we got the new motherfucker, Lil Nas. So he pregnant. Again, this is how you have to look. Put like this. I done gave y'all so many ways to actually really look at this. Right? So you pick how you actually really want to look at this. 9 times out of 10, it's probably all the same thing. And I just worded it just a little bit different. Or just add it on. Depending on how the fuck you actually really want to look at this. Right? But like I say, in either case, the bullshit agenda, the homosexuality agenda, the alphabet soup just got a new ingredient added, right? That's how you have to look at this. So, with that being said, hey, guess what? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dan, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door across the street around the corner. Paulus Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Till next time.